Good evening there, everybody. Welcome to a very special edition of Elite FPL, where Arsenal are
like
sitting 8 points on top of the Premier League. And I'm joined by my co-host, or maybe I should say host of the actual show, Stevo. Stevo, how are you this evening?
Like I said, you sound like exactly like my area manager. Morning, guys. Good evening and welcome. Just want to say a big thanks to Dan. It drives me up the wall. Yeah. Dan, you want to talk about the Arsenal, I want to talk about the North London derby. Take it away, mate.
Well,
actually, do you want to explain what we're doing?
Yeah, we're basically, Stevo's driving us over to Torquay. I do apologise that it's incredibly dark on this video. It reminds me of the Tom Hardy film, Lock, if you've ever seen that film. Highly recommend it. Yeah.
What's that about?
It's, well, it's like a sort of thriller film whereby he's in the car and he's just got this phone call and he's trying to sort out this situation. It's, you know, like a bit
similar
like
to Buried?
Yes. Yeah. That's similar to that. Yeah.
How old is it?
It's probably about 6 or 7 years old. So,
never heard of it.
Yeah.
Right. Is that on Netflix?
It's on Netflix. Yeah.
Other
streaming services are available, guys. But anyway, we're really going off on tangents here. Probably lost all the audience now. But yeah,
what audience?
Amazing win. Today, obviously, at White Hart Lane. We've not won there since 2014. Massive, really, 8 points clear. But I have to say that nothing, you know, it's mid-January, nothing's done yet. But Odegaard scoring again, and obviously another clean sheet away from home in a big game. But still, you know, a long way to go. Celebrations at the end, of course, and Ramsdale getting a kick from a Spurs fan. But
sorry?
Yeah. Ramsdale was kicked by a Spurs fan at the end of the game.
Sorry, where?
Oh, where? Behind? Well, the guy came from behind the goal.
Oh, so it was a pitch invasion?
Yeah. Pitch invasion.
When did this happen? Like right at the end?
At the end of the game. Yeah.
Oh wow.
So
what? Sorry, I didn't know this. What's actually happened?
Well,
the final whistle blew.
Yeah, and the Spurs fan came onto the pitch and kicked Ramsdale.
When you say kicked him, was in like a karate kick, a super kick like Shawn Michaels, like a little what?
It was a pretty pathetic kick, let's be honest. I think Spurs fans just absolutely bitter and miserable after a poor performance for most of the game, picked up in the second half. But yeah, I mean, it's just incredible to win there after not winning there since 2014. Odegaard.
That long?
Yeah, 2014.
10 years? That's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous, yeah, but history is there to be broken, despite what you say. And yeah, I'm happy. Celebrations at the end. Some people might call me a celebration piece. I think just calm down a little bit because we've got 2 games to play against Man City coming up. Over the next few months, and obviously the FA Cup game as well, so 3 games.
Because of the result yesterday, you're 8 points clear.
Yeah, but there's still 2 games against City, so nothing's done yet.
So that's 6. Okay, let's just say, for argument's sake, you lose both those games, you're 2 points clear.
It means nothing.
It does.
It means nothing in mid-Jan.
It's like when Jason talks about Man United, and he's always on the conservative side and is like non-believing, a bit like me with Burnley.
Mm-hmm.
And I always make the point that we've seen it all before. It's like Jason, Man United, you with Arsenal, we've seen it all before. Where can we just stay behind this for the rest of the time? Because at least the lighting's there. But me as a complete neutral, I genuinely see you guys going the whole way. I think, like you've agreed before, that your squad is very lackluster,
Well, I mean, the bench is lackluster.
The bench is lackluster, but as a first team squad, you're doing exceptionally well, and if you keep those guys fit, here we go, Brew. What do I always complain about in the podcasts that I do about London traffic and just muppets that can't drive at 30 miles an hour or whatever in the perceived zones? If it's a 20 zone, do 20 miles an hour, not 15. Some tosser in front of us doing 25, 26, Dan. Now we're picking up speed. Oh, there's a police car there. Anyway, but no, I personally think that you are primed to go all the way. I think Man City are more likely to go behind to Man United than they are to catch you. Genuinely. What I saw of Arsenal today was a professional performance. I thought you were fantastic. I thought you were absolutely gold. And I thought that Saka, Odegaard played exceptionally well. And Nketiah, I thought did a job. Yeah, he did work hard.
Yeah.
And I think personally that when City be at the Emirates, obviously, I don't think you have any fear with them whatsoever. I think that you'll be able to get something from them, even if it's a draw. Easy. No problem with that at all. I think that the likes of Man United, I was thinking this when I was watching the game, because I'm, Jason, thinking of wildcarding soon. And I'm thinking, well, there's no thinking about it, Dan. I'm going to be going triple Arsenal in midfield. Odegaard, Saka, Martinelli. It's going to go all three because they're the most informed players at the moment. Salah / Liverpool are, I don't know what the hell's going on there, but I know that a lot of Liverpool fans are saying about the fact that this happens with Klopp patterns, history. It happened at Borussia Dortmund, where he does really well, Klopp, for the first 3-4 years, and then it just tails off. Well, is it a coincidence that Liverpool have won every single title underneath him, and now all of a sudden it's coming apart? I don't know. But certainly I think that Liverpool, I can't even bother to touch. Man City, you know, if you got Haaland, brilliant. Like, who hasn't got him? And then it's the likes of KDB, who just looks like a frustrated figure. We'll get onto that game in a minute, but point being is that I'm happy to stick with triple Man United and triple Arsenal. So that's 6 players in my team taken up, which means I'm left with the 5 other random players that I decide to go with. And certainly I'm very, very confident, Dan, that you're going to be going all the way. It's a very similar battle between me, you and Jason in the mini league, because we've never been this close ever. And let's get real here, Arsenal haven't been that close in the title race either, with the likes of Man United, City chasing them. And I'm sick to death of using this word. I'm bullish that you will actually legitimately go on. Fuck this arsehole. I generally think you're going to go on to win the Premier League. And that performance today, I thought was outstanding. Tottenham were terrible. Brew was there. Tottenham were absolutely atrocious. I said it in the... I put a clip up from our YouTube, from the video that we did the other day. And I said, Tottenham fans are getting really irked by the fact that their home performances are just hit and miss. You know, 1 minute they're, the Barcelona prime underneath Pep Guardiola. The next minute they're losing to, I don't know, Brighton or Crystal Palace, whoever. You know, some sack of garbage, and the performances just aren't good enough. Today, their big test against their local rivals, and they failed miserably. I couldn't name you a Tottenham player that I thought actually put in a shift today. Sessegnon was alright. Kane looked like remind me of Messi today, in the sense of getting really frustrated with his team and had to come all the way back in defence to actually get the ball. Did Son even play today? Kulusevski was alright, but again, the end product was just a bit near. I think, Dan, you seem very pessimistic as an Arsenal.
The reason why is because it's been so long since we've been in a title challenge. It really was 2016, and then Leicester ran away with that title in the end, really. But yeah, it's just like you with Burnley, Jason with Man United. When you get so close, well, not so close, but close to something, then you sort of, your hopes and expectations get up, and you think, well, calm down a bit. But no, I mean, it was a brilliant performance. The first half was amazing, really.
Yeah, you dominated it.
Absolutely, like you said, Partey, Saka, Odegaard, Zinchenko as well, bit of an unsung hero, but
Do you
was
think he's
dropping
brought? Do you think Zinchenko has brought that title-winning experience to your team?
Yeah. I think he's bringing that winning mentality to the team.
Winning mentality, yeah. And how old is he?
Is he 23, 24? I could be wrong. Yeah, I think he's mid-20s. But anyway, he at the end obviously was pumping his fist and
Hart Lane, Jason.
Hart Lane, yes. We're just tripped down memory lane. You can't say things like that.
You can.
Anyway, getting back to what I was saying.
Should we edit that out?
Probably gonna have to edit that out, I think. We're just coming through talking Bamboo Bar restaurant and con.
I wonder if Pete's watching this. I doubt
He's
it.
probably out now.
I have to drive past his own place along with Jason's own place.
Bowling, God,
You should get a shot of where Jason. In fact, do it when we drive past. Get a shot of Pete and Jason's ex.
I'm sure they'll appreciate that. But I mean, yeah, obviously going on to the other games today. Chelsea getting the win, 1-0. Havertz, we predicted it. Yeah.
What did I say?
We said Havertz would get the goal, didn't we? And but Kepa got me 10 points. So,
well, actually, that reminds me. So, before we were doing this video, like a couple of hours, well, in fact, at half time during the Arsenal game, you said you didn't know any of the results from today or yesterday, barring Newcastle, obviously Arsenal and Man United. So here we go. Where do we live?
Right.
As we slow the car down into second gear. Look at that, perfect gear change. Where were they, Dan?
Just right here, just this middle one here now. Yeah. Oops.
Of course, you can. I just realised you can selfie to thingy. Yeah. So you didn't know any of the results, and now you do. So what happened? How did you not know the results?
Well, the plan was to watch it this morning. Didn't get around to it. Went out this morning. Went talking about with some friends, and then the plan was to watch it tonight. And then you were like, "Wait a minute, let's do a stream on the road like we did the other day." Although this is a bit more dynamic, so it's just like, shit, I better watch it before we meet up. So just sort of quickly watch match of the day.
Okay. So you know the results. You said about Chelsea winning 1-0.
I'm gonna have to take this coat off. I'm absolutely baking it up.
Essentially, can you pause it? You can't you just pause it.
So yeah, you were saying.
So yeah, Chelsea winning 1-0 today. I thought they'd get a result today because it's Crystal Palace. I didn't expect a clean sheet though. And what I was going to say is that from a differential point of view, this is mad because today it was all about, for me, Mitrovic. I didn't even realise. I completely forgot Jason didn't have Kepa because he's got De Gea. So Kepa, and that was it. Oh, and Perisic for Jason.
Yeah, I didn't even start, did he?
Mitrovic, I just cannot fucking make it up. What was did you see it? The missed penalty?
No, I didn't know.
Are you aware he missed the penalty?
No, I don't.
So he missed a fucking penalty, and I can't get my bloody head around. I don't know what happened. I haven't seen it, but all I saw was the fact that he missed a penalty. Now, incredibly, Jason's differential on me is who? Good old. Do you know what? I shouldn't be doing this, but is that working? Yes. You may want to hold the camera down a bit because my face. There we are. Jason's differential on me, Tony. What did he do yesterday, Dan?
Smashed in a penalty against Bournemouth.
That penalty today, if Mitrovic scores, is massive for me because why? Because your differential on me is who? Botman.
Yeah.
So that double bloody Newcastle defence has fucking... Okay, don't get me wrong, it's come through again as per normal. As I said to you before, Newcastle at home are a different animal. They just keep clean sheets. They've only conceded 5 goals all season. So I knew there was a high chance of them keeping a clean sheet, and I was genuinely torn between whether I play Botman or I play Mitrovic. But the reason why I play Mitrovic is because I'm one of those FPL managers where I genuinely think to myself, he got suspended for the Chelsea game, then he's up against his former club. I bet he comes back with a bang when everybody's not playing him, or he's obviously come back with a bang, all right, by missing a fucking penalty. I genuinely, I haven't seen the penalty, how bad it was, But seeing people on Twitter saying that it was awful, it just those points on Jason is massive for me.
Do you think with Mitrovic's missed penalty, it's the psychological pressure of being against an old team at their ground?
Well, it's his second penalty miss. It's 2 in a row now.
Oh, is it?
I believe it's 2 in a row he's missed. So there's something clearly going on in Mitrovic's head. And does he take the next one? Who was the player that missed a penalty from? It was Kevin De Bruyne, wasn't it? Kevin De Bruyne last season or the season before missed a penalty. Hopefully this is going to be decent lighting here. What do you reckon, Dan? If I turn that off, is the lighting any good? No, it's pitch black. Brilliant.
This stream's going to give people nightmares.
Yeah. I'm sure it was Kevin De Bruyne that was taken off penalties because he missed so many that Pep was like, I can't be having my penalty, my so-called penalty taker missing penalties. So we're going to have to give them to whoever it was, Mahrez, I think it was in the end.
I mean, he started to miss penalties until recently.
And then now Haaland is now obviously the designated penalty taker. But yeah, I'm wondering if there's now going to be a new penalty taker for...
Could be Willian, maybe.
Yeah,
he's quite good on set pieces.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Is he even a first teamer for Fulham?
Yes. Yeah.
He does. Right. Okay. Yeah. So it could be him. And yeah, I just from an FPL point of view, I just think it's absolutely laughable that the one time that my player can actually then claw back points on my rival or in you. Because you don't have Mitrovic, do you?
I do. Boltman, I just brought in because of the transfers that I did, getting Kane and Mahrez in, really. So I'd take out Robertson. So it was a bit of a...
Okay.
And it was a risky one. It was a risky one, bringing them in. But
it's paid off.
It's paid off, yeah. I did even have Bueno in at one point. And obviously, they got a clean sheet as well. But, yeah, I mean, from my perspective, if we actually go back to the other big game this weekend, really big games this weekend, but derby-wise, the shaky camera effects. This is like the Blair Witch Project, but for FPL. Yeah, Man United versus Man City, obviously the big derby game.
I'm assuming you watched it.
Yes, watched it last night on the catch-up, and God, I mean, what a comeback from United.
First half was terrible.
Yeah, the first half was what they call a tactical battle, which whenever commentators say that means... Yeah, hopefully the game will get better in the second half. But
Man United were impressive.
Yeah, I mean, Man United know how to set up against these teams that want to attack. You know, they can go on the counter attack. It was kind of, you could kind of see it coming. But Man City, when they got the goal, Grealish, I didn't really see Man United getting way back in that game because they had the pace, they had the energy, the momentum.
And Man City, one of these teams that just seem to be able to shut out teams the second they go 1-0 up, and then it's just play the possession game. But obviously there was the controversy with Rashford's, was it Fernandes, wasn't it, that scored?
Yes. Yeah.
Rashford being offside, interfering play. What's your opinion? I think it's a ridiculous decision that it was given as a goal, personally. Yeah, no, I agree, because Rashford's kind of, he's interfering with play, he's in the middle of it all, so I'm amazed that it was given. But as an Arsenal... Even with VAR, that's the crazy thing. Even with VAR it was given. Yeah. So it's down to refs and interpretation, obviously the assistant referee as well. But, Fernandes, if anyone took a punt on him, budgetary considerations meant I didn't. But if he did, that's obviously paid off so far. And then, of course, Rashford getting the winner. No, did Jason go through his captaincy of Rashford? No, because he's weak. Oh! He bottled it. Oh! But it pisses me off though, because again, it's that thing of like, even though it's benefited me as a rival, Jason was so adamant. Yeah, I'm not going to use that word, the B word. He was so adamant that what's his face, Rashford. Hold the camera down. Dan, your camera work is. Yeah, well, I'm having to hold this up. He was so adamant that he was going to captain Rashford, and then he bottled it. In fact, we haven't even discussed that about the decision to wildcard. Now, I wanted to just quickly question you. Your transfers that you did you do them because you were blocking me off? Your -8, did you do, because you were doing Mahrez, we know that.
Mm-hmm.
The other transfers, getting Kane in, I thought you cheeky fucking arsehole. No, I'm being serious. I just thought you fucking C-word, as members will know that I say.
You might as well say it now because you've turned the air red most of the stream anyway.
What the hell? Were you just blocking me off?
I'd already planned to get Kane in. I'd already planned to get him in, but
Okay.
it was good to block you off as well. That I took some satisfaction from that, even though he did shit today. But who cares? But no, I'd already planned this ahead. I'd already thought Mahrez.
You were going to be doing a -8?
Yeah.
Bullshit.
If you believe that, you believe anything. But you look so angry now.
I'm laughing because it's just funny, but yeah, go on, carry on.
Anyway, so.
But then with Jason's wildcard, even you were shocked like me.
Yeah, as soon as you said Jason wildcarded, I thought to myself, Jason is the Joker of FPL. He is the Joker. He'll always have something up his sleeve to come out with that you don't expect. But I was not expecting him to wildcard. He's invested heavily into this double game week.
Yeah, yeah.
And it could, maybe it can still pay off for him, but it could backfire long term. But we will see. I mean, did you ever have a consideration of wildcarding this double game week? Never.
Don't need to. I mean, I was looking at, now as my right, if I'd have not done anything with my transfers whatsoever and just did Mahrez in for Mount, fuck that, Luke Shaw in for Reece James, and I did Mahrez in for Mount, so a -4. Hindsight's a wonderful thing. I kind of wish I'd just done that. But the reality of the situation is that I brought in Kane for Darwin, which you would argue is an upgrade. You'd argue that. I can't see how anybody couldn't. You've got Robertson out for, in theory, Botman. You've got Shaw in for Reece James. So that's 0 points Reece James, 0 points Darwin. So it's 2 points Kane, 2 points Shaw. So I'm now -8 overall. And then you've got Mahrez in for Mount, which I'm down by a point officially, but assuming Mahrez does start, which he should do versus Tottenham, then again, you don't know what Pep will do. Will he get really annoyed with his team and just completely change it? I doubt it, but I think that, I'm then going to be down by, whatever the maths is, by 1 point, so I'm now -7. And then the whole thing of, who was the other player that I brought in? I've completely forgotten. But for the whole, Botman, of course, but I didn't play him. So I'm -7 overall. But moving forward, because I don't need to do any transfers for the next week, which I generally don't need to do, I personally will have a decent enough team for next week where I'm just going to be like, right, just hold fire, get through next week, because obviously it's Arsenal versus Man United, where I think that could be like a very tight 0-0, 1-0 to Arsenal, 1-1, something like that. It's going to be tight. Let's not beat about the bush here. So I'm just I can just hold off on those transfers. Mahrez/Man City are at home to Wolves. I'm going to call it now. It's the usual line from me, 4-0. Because remember, with my predictions, I said that Man United are going to beat Man City 2-1. That's already happened. I said that Kevin De Bruyne is going to get 2 assists and a goal across these 2 fixtures. Well, he's already got his assist. And then he's up against Tottenham, who I personally believe we're going to lose anyway. I think I went 4-1. So, like I say, I'm pretty... Going into this game week 21, I'm happy with my team as it is. Whereas in Jason's case, he can swap and change here or there certain players, but I just think I could be eating my words. I think he could have wasted it, Dan. I think he's just gone too hard into double game week. I mean, the majority of the players, it's like Karma Baby said, so you've just wild-carded into a standard template team, barring the odd player here or there. But I just question Perisic and De Gea, to be honest with you. I don't get the Perisic pick especially. I don't quite get that. And so, I don't know what Jason's seen in Tottenham. I mean, remember, Jason slags off Tottenham all the time. So bringing in an additional player on top of Kane in Perisic, I don't quite get the logic behind that. But you any thoughts on the team?
Yeah, like you said, I think he's like heavily invested in the double game week. Did he get Højbjerg as well? Did I imagine that?
You imagine it?
Yeah, I was gonna. There's someone in our mini league had Højbjerg, brought him in.
Wow.
And then
Tour Elite.
Yeah, in the Tour Elite Cash mini league that we take very seriously. But Del Bellamy obviously triple captain Haaland.
Did he?
Yeah. I was just.
A lot of people triple captain him.
Yeah, and obviously this first game it's not paid off. I mean, he wasn't really getting the service yesterday, but I think having seen Tottenham the way they played today and Man City, they've got to win on Thursday, so Haaland can still get some returns there really. But like you said, Perisic was a bit of a strange one really, considering he's played a lot of games this season. He was 33 now, been to the World Cup as well. So it seems like Jason wanted to take a couple of differential risks, but within a safe template. Really,
I questioned De Gea. He's a perfectly fine FPL asset, but I just think from a wildcard perspective, he didn't need to do anything. I think that maybe if he wanted to go down the Kane route, he could have just done what he normally does, which is a hit. Just take those hits. That wild card is really precious in my opinion. And I just look at his team and I just go, meh. He's got loads of money though tied up. That's the thing. He's got so much money tied up. Even fucking Tony went up in price, for crying out loud. So we've got another, I know he's not directly made a profit, but it means that price rise has gone up, which means that someone like me or you, if we were to buy him, is 0.1 more expensive. It's a fucking piss take. Jason this season has played the money game amazingly, but picking the right players to come through, I think it's not gone that well for him so far. Yeah. But going back to the Manchester derby, both teams looked flat of ideas in the first. Like you said, it was a very tactical battle in the first half, but the second half opened up a lot, didn't it?
Yeah, Steve-O's turned the heating off now. I think he was turning it up just because he was annoyed that I copied his transfer on Friday. But in the second half, when City got the goal, I just felt like they had the momentum really. But United were looking a little more dangerous on the counter attack, and Rashford's in the form of his life. Really, let's be honest. And you could argue that United are in the title race as well now after these wins. I mean, what people were saying before was, okay, they've had a good run since after the World Cup. They've won some games, got consistency, gone through in the cup competitions. But who have they played? Well, they played the champions and they won. So we've got to say to Ten Hag that he's done. He's doing a great job. No Ronaldo, but it doesn't really matter. And Garnacho.
Trust me. Ronaldo's a good thing. That's a massive positive. I've always said this about Ronaldo and he may be, argument being he's one of the greatest ever players to live. That's without question.
It's not an argument, it's a fact.
It's a fact, sorry. Sorry, I was supposed to have said an argument against who was better, him or Messi. But that would be an argument that would live on forever. But from a Man United point of view, what the effect he had on the team was so negative that it's obvious that since he's left that, surprise, surprise, Man United are now winning football matches. There's a team coherent spirit. It's like I said to you, because I work in an industry which is based on being a team player and you work with a team of people, it doesn't matter how good someone is, if they're creating an atmosphere where nobody wants to work for them, then no one will work for them. Like, we've got an individual at work where she's okay at her job, but her negative influence on the team means that everybody doesn't want to do anything for her. There are certain managers that I'm sure people work for, if you're in the team environment, where the reality of the situation is that they could be the most amazing manager on the planet, in the sense of they know the rule book inside out, they can speak the language of that particular company, and they go quite far. However, the the impact that they have on the team morale and the team work ethic is completely down. Our former store manager, from a career perspective, yeah, he's probably going to be the next CEO of the company, the way he's going. Yeah, congratulations. But from a real life perspective, when it came to the team ethic of our shop, fuck me, the biggest tosser on the planet. He couldn't give a shit. Because he knew he was the best of the best. He knew this, Dan. Like Ronaldo, I'm the best of the best. I can do whatever I want. I get results. But the problem is that the team around him couldn't stand him. And our morale was just so low with him that we didn't want to do anything for him. So he was just essentially like Ronaldo does. He'll come up with some worldie of a goal or whatever. But from a results point of view, yeah, he was getting the results that Man United should be getting, so to speak. But it wasn't done as a team, and I just think that, well, in fact, there's no think about it. I know because he's gone, Man United are a much better coherent unit. And I'm sure Jason and any Man United fan watching should agree.
Well, I said at the start of the season that United are better without Ronaldo. Obviously, as you just said, Rashford's come on and it's allowed the other players to express themselves and sort of work more as a team unit under Ten Hag's leadership as well. But moving on from that game, there was obviously Brighton-Liverpool. Some people may have had Liverpool assets, people may have Brighton assets as well.
What do you think of the result? You said
I was just blown away, really. I know Brighton have been excellent at home this season. McAllister back in the team, that was a big bonus for Brighton. And yeah, just Welbeck's goal was amazing. That was prime Danny Welbeck, really.
Is there a prime Danny Welbeck?
There is a prime Danny Welbeck. He's a good player. He's a very good, underrated player, I'd say, Welbeck. And but for Liverpool, I mean, defensively all over the place. Solly March, was always a talented player that's kind of shining now under the new manager. Trossard not, playing, but it doesn't really matter. Brighton have always got a really good unit. And Metsuma, the Japanese international that people have been...
It's Mitsuma, isn't it?
That's a character in Lion King, isn't it? But yeah, anyway, he's been in some people's squads just because he's a cheap asset at the moment.
He's in Jason's team.
Yeah, and he was quite impressive as well. But Liverpool defensively, just as I said before, all over the shop, and the pressure is really on Klopp now. And I look at those Liverpool assets that I had previously in my squad over the season. Obviously Robertson, Trent at one point, Salah, and it's just like I don't stating the obvious, but like I've had Darwin, and he was just a waste of time as well. And I don't fear not having those. But I know it's an obvious thing to say when a team isn't doing well. But
yeah, but this is the whole point of fantasy football, though. You're supposed to be predicting when a team's going to come into form / when they're going out of form. And I think for me, it's get rid of your Liverpool assets, absolutely jump on Arsenal assets. Man City are a hold, I think, as of now. I think they're a perfectly good hold, especially the expensive ones like Kevin De Bruyne as an example. I'd rather have KDB than Salah. That's what that's just me. I'd rather have him than Salah. But certainly I think this season, I was thinking about this today, like this season seems to be about the budget choices and which ones you're jumping on at the earliest time, i.e. the likes of Almiron, Odegaard, Winners, Digcar. But in all seriousness, it does seem to be like, well, these budget assets are actually almost keeping up with the likes of Salah, KDB. Yes, I'm fully aware that in the actual overall standings, Salah or whoever's top of the thing, like there's still the big hitters are there, I get that. But actually, you can not need to have them and you're still going to tick along. I think personally, you're still going to continue ticking along with the likes of these cheapies. And I think that I certainly do think that me looking at my wild card, I'm thinking of going 3-5-2, Dan. And I'm looking at Newcastle triple up defence. I'm not really interested in their attack because their attack actually, Dan, reminds me of Burnley. Their goals are coming from everywhere. One week it's Almiron, the next week it's Wilson, the next minute it's Guimaraes, the next minute it's who else?
Wood.
Chris Wood.
Reminds you of Burnley.
You know, they're just coming all over the place. But what's the most consistent thing about Newcastle? It was their defence. They don't concede goals. So, I've got an idea, Steve-O. Double up on their defence. That's why Vince Chapman's doing so well he's top of the Rivals League. Because he's just gone with double up on Newcastle defence the whole bloody season.
Yeah, I mean, they're like, it just reminds me of the old George Graham days in the sort of late 80s, early 90s with those defensive, 1-0 to the Arsenal and all that. And Newcastle were just doing very well defensively. Dan Burn's been playing very well. Obviously, Nick Pope in goal and another ex-Burnley player doing well for Newcastle. And when I did that double up on Newcastle's defence, I just thought, how's my luck going to be? Because I just thought all these clean sheets that Newcastle have had over the course of the season, it would just be my luck that Fulham turn up, and it nearly happened, obviously, with a missed penalty. But
honestly, that missed penalty is massive.
Yeah, it's massive.
Because guess who got the 3 bonus points, Dan?
Go on.
Guess.
No, go on.
Trippier.
Oh wow.
Every week, every Newcastle game, Trippier.
Trippier's just ever since he's come into Newcastle has just been an insane FPL asset, isn't he? Really, for his price at the start of the season as well, which obviously next season will come back up, really. But I mean,
it'll be 6 million next year.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, in terms of these are the main games in terms of FPL, but we will touch upon obviously Everton, Southampton. I mean, I don't think many people will.
I don't really give a shit about those, Dan.
Well,
Okay.
I know you don't, but I'm sure there'll be people out there that might have had an asset or two just as a differential. I mean, well, Everton, probably nobody.
It's like that scene in Extras where Keith Chegwin goes on about a name of your favourite black British comedian, and Andy Milne's like, Same with this. Who's got a Southampton asset?
Well, there's got to be somebody in the world. Anyway, Ward-Prowse, fantastic individual performance. Beautiful first goal, and then that free kick I just knew that was going to go in. So, as I predicted, Southampton got the win. Everton fans are going crazy. Board aren't allowed to come to games. Yerry Mina getting confronted after the game. Everton in dire straits. Lampard looks about 10 years older from when he joined Everton. But
oh, really?
Yeah, he just looks very stressed, as you can imagine. Everton in real trouble again, having narrowly escaped relegation last season. So yeah, great win for Southampton. You never know, the 3 wins in a week. Anything can happen in football. Maybe they can turn their season around, really. So that was the big result for Southampton at Goodison Park. And then we sort of touched upon Brentford-Bournemouth, didn't we? Bournemouth in free fall.
I didn't realise Brentford were at home when we were doing the predictions. So I think I said something like, it's probably be 1 or 2-0 at Bournemouth, because Bournemouth are just, ironically, defensively, they're pretty at home, pretty solid, but then find out that they're at home and it's like, oh yeah, that's going to be 2 or 3-0.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, I mean, Bournemouth under new ownership of recent, obviously, Michael Jordan, is that his name? I think the actor from the Creed franchise. Yeah, anyway, he's one of the stakeholders, but they can't be that impressed with recent results. Obviously, losing at home to Palace, going out the cup to Burnley, and then another disappointing defeat yesterday. And Gary O'Neill looks like he is under pressure.
Isn't it typical though that the temporary manager does really well, in this case Bournemouth, he does really well winning every game left, right and centre. Here's a contract and they don't win a game since.
Yeah, it's tricky for Bournemouth. I do think they need to make, no thinking about it, they definitely need to make 2 or 3 really good signings. Hopefully they've got the money there. But yeah, Brentford, I mean, Tony coming through for Jason, a really good differential there. Tony, point to prove after being excluded from the World Cup squad, all this betting controversy and whatnot. Brentford really having a really good season under great management, and getting the win as you predicted, Steve. Really not a big surprise there. On to another game where, let's be honest here, people aren't really going to be too bothered from an FPL point of view, but just to round things up, we had Wolves and West Ham to be precise.
I said in the predictions, neither team can score, and to be honest with you, 1-0 I think flattered both teams.
I mean, West Ham are struggling. Another team that's
and they're playing Everton next.
Yeah, that'll be absolutely. Well, obviously, St. Lawrence, that'll be a 6-pointer there, but
0-0.
yeah, I think West Ham, struggling firepower-wise this season, as we've just touched upon, and Wolves got a big win. Obviously, that's they've got the new manager, ex-Real Madrid, kick-starting their season a bit. Jimenez had his goal disallowed for offside. Neto smashing the crossbar, but at the end of the day, Wolves getting a big win. I think Wolves, just because defensively, I think they'll just about stay up. But as we said before, who are you looking at from either team at the moment, really? But just to round it all the way back up, on Friday, the action kicked off, obviously with the 6:30 deadline. And at 8 o'clock at Villa Park, it was Aston Villa versus Leeds United. I predicted a 2-2 draw. Steve-O, you think you went for a bit of win?
Went 3-1 Villa, yeah.
3-1 Villa.
I said both teams to score for definite, because Aston Villa can't keep clean sheets. But I didn't see the game. But yeah, a nice, 2-1, happy days.
Yeah, 2-1 to the Villa. Maybe. Really stretching it. Maybe some people might have had Watkins, as a striker.
There's certainly a team that I'm maybe looking at, like potentially someone like Buendia. Unai Emery seems to put maybe a bit of faith in him. Karma Baby's probably screaming at his TV, going, "What the fuck are you talking about? He's not done anything." But every time I seem to see that Villa have scored, it's either Buendia's got a goal or assist. Again, I'm probably completely wrong. Yeah, you are, Steve-O, but it does seem that way. But anyhow.
Yeah, so great win for Villa. As I said, maybe Watkins could be one to watch. Obviously, a local lad, isn't he? Watkins,
yes.
Born in Newton Abbot.
Well, you were the one that told me that a few weeks back.
Exeter City player. Obviously, come up from Exeter City ranks. So, but yeah, good win for Villa, and a couple of players there to consider moving forward. Leeds. And I seem to be just saying every team's struggling, but another team that...
Well, Leeds, they've got that young player with G that seems to be on the radar, not just from a real life point of view, but maybe a punt from an FPL point of view. I know Jason mentioned him in a stream. I forget his name, it begins with G though. And
if anyone knows, put it in the comments.
He got an assist this week, and yeah, I think that maybe if... Again, it's the classic thing here, but are you really going to take out that player for him? No. You're not. So
we're in Brixham now. Anyway, for those of you that know Devon, lovely harbour town, and I think that's.
We wanted to go out for a walk, but it's pouring with rain, isn't it, Dan?
That doesn't bother me. I've got an umbrella.
I don't.
I can't. What, have we missed any? I feel like we missed a game. Have we missed any games from this jerky stream?
No.
No, we haven't. So that pretty much wraps it up.
I was going to just quickly say, how long's that video been? Just quick.
43 minutes.
Right, so just a quick one. Going into the midweek games, Man United away at Crystal Palace, I predicted 2-1. I'm still confident that Man United win. I'm just hoping that I get rewarded with Aaron Wan-Bissaka's outstanding performance against Man City and hopefully get a clean sheet. I'm hoping that maybe Wan-Bissaka turns up against his former club and maybe, does something. But I'm still going to say that Man United to win 2-1, Dan. Have you changed your thought process since?
I can't even remember what I predicted, but I think I did say United will get the win. So I think, the confidence from beating Man City will just push them on to get a win at Selhurst Park. And then obviously we move on to Man City versus Tottenham. Man City have got to win this game. Tottenham have got a good record there, and they've got a good record against Man City in general. However, I just think based off the pressure on Man City at home, evening game, I think City will come good in that game. 2-3-1. What about your prediction for this game to finish off the double game week?
I initially predicted Tottenham to get absolutely battered, like I say, 4-0. Man City to score 4 goals. Now, honestly, I would not be surprised if Tottenham turn. They're good away. They score goals away from home. this could now be like an end-to-end 2-2, 3-2. Do you know what? I'll say this, and I know Mr. Reed's going to get pissed off with this. 2-2 or 3-2 either way now. Oh, what is pitch
You've
black
heard it
there?
here first. I mean, I can't see it, but if it happens, I'll be, do you know what, I'll be absolutely over the moon because, you know, well, from an Arsenal point of view, that would be really sweet. But I do feel that Man City will get the win, and, you know, let's be honest, most people captain Haaland, or a lot, obviously I have, and they'll triple captain Haaland, and yeah, I think he could still return, obviously, on Thursday. But any final thoughts on this very different stream?
I just think that from my point of view, you know, like I said, a big shout out to Lewis Kirkby.
Lewis
Hello,
Kirkby.
lads! Remember him?
Yeah, I remember. How can you forget Lewis?
He, as of yesterday, had a game week rank, overall game week rank of 1,300,
Wow.
which is just insane. And he used no chips or anything, so big shout out to him. Dread FPL is split in the moderator league, has split up me and you. And Jason, he's kind of slap bang in the middle. He had Odegaard and Botman today.
Wow.
And another person that kind of, again, I don't really look at these mini leagues until I do members videos, but No Weak Foot got 73 points this week.
Excellent.
And he, again, had, I can't remember what he wrote on Twitter, but 73 fucking points. So yeah, well done to those three. They've done exceptionally well. But yeah, I'm just going to be fascinated by this particular upcoming game between Man United and Crystal Palace, because it's Aaron Wan-Bissaka versus De Gea for me and Jason. And, you know...
Walcott.
Hey?
Walcott Place.
Yeah,
Is,
so it's going to be a very interesting game on Wednesday. Is that what it's
Yes,
been?
I think it's
so
Wednesday.
there we are.
Yeah, definitely. So,
yeah, hope you've enjoyed this one. If you've had motion sickness from it, do apologise. Hopefully no nightmares as well. Sunday night, absolutely pouring it down in Torbay. We've gone from Paignton to Torquay to Paignton, and then Paignton to Brixham, and just pulling up now. It's still lashing it down, but hope you've enjoyed the double game week so far. Hope you've enjoyed the stream. Remember to hit that like button, remember to comment, subscribe, all those things, and yeah, we'll see you all again soon. Any final words, Steve-O?
We've already done that. No, just clear off, get out of it. We're done.
See you all soon.